Happy full moon in Taurus. So this full moon is not just any full moon, it is a super moon. So it's going to feel super duper intense for a lot of people. Taurus is the ruler of the second house in astrology, and this is the house of self-esteem and finances. So we can expect to take a look at both of these things, taking a look in the mirror to see where we're getting our validation from. Are we internally validating? Are we externally validating for our self-esteem? What facets of our self-esteem would we like to change, And then, of course, finance. And this full moon is lighting everything up so we can take a look at it. And with finance, it sometimes can be difficult to kind of do a self-audit, and it can be very intimidating. So at the very least, I would say look at one piece, whether that's your credit cards, whether that's recurring payments or subscriptions. I find subscriptions to be a really good one nowadays because we can subscribe to everything. So take a look at those subscription services and see which ones are you overpaying for, which ones are you no longer using, and if there's a subscription service that you'd like to subscribe to, see which ones you can get rid of and trade it out. Also, Taurus brings us a fixed earth sign, and it is the sister sign to Scorpio, which is also a fixed sign. It just happens to be fixed water. So with these two signs and elements, it's asking us to stay in place and take a look at that internal world and take a look at our external / material world and see what, again, we can give away. This is a good time to go through stuff if you want to and figure out materially what you don't need in your house anymore. Taurus is ruled by Venus, and Venus wants us to feel nice. So this is the time to really check the list on those creature comforts, what really makes you feel good and fills your soul, fills your cup, not just little dopamine hits here and there. We want deep fulfillment with this full moon. And whatever isn't filling your cup in that way, let's give it away. The last time we had a new moon in Taurus, this would be around the Easter time frame. So think back to Easter time or the spring, close to the spring equinox, when we were planting the seeds for this full moon, right? What were we looking to material manifest it at this time? Look back at your camera roll and see what you were doing then. For me, I was planning on going to my first market. And so this is exciting to be on the other side of this, right? To see all the hard work I did this year with all the markets and see all the things that I've learned. I made some money this year and it's super duper exciting. So this is kind of telling me personally to take a look at that and, now that I've had this experience, how can I do it better, or what can I change, or what do I want to change? Do I want to keep doing markets? Do I want to, go into the next year and do it all over again, or do I want to do something else? So again, this is going to be personal to you, but definitely look back in your camera roll and see what was happening in your life at that time. So I also drew some cards for the collective, and we are having a really hard time, unfortunately. I know with the last full moon, it was also pretty intense, the full moon in Aries. And it looks like it's just continuing to be intense. And I think it's because of the time of year, right? We're going into the darker parts of the year, and a lot of us struggle with mental health and making sure we're getting enough sunlight, making sure we're getting enough time with friends, communication. We're really kind of getting trapped in our own worlds at this time. But this, again, is kind of what this full moon is calling for. It needs us to get trapped in our own world so we can sort out what we want to keep and what we want to give away. So first up, I have the Princess of Wands. And she is typically all about taking action. She's the first of the court cards, like Page of Wands, if you will. Just in this deck, she's a princess. And she's in reverse. So this is telling me that we're taking a pause with action. We might have had a misstep, or something might have happened where we weren't satisfied with the result, and we're being really hard on ourselves. So this is saying, take that pause. Again, we're in a fixed sign, so let's just sit with this and see what we can do. Again, Wands is action, right? So then we have Ace of Swords reversed. And interestingly enough, I drew this card recently for myself. And this was telling me that I was adopting kind of a new mindset. And now for the collective, I'm drawing it in reverse. So this is telling me that we are kind of filled up on ideas. We are filled up on swords, if you will, like thoughts. And to take the time to make sure we're not taking on like one more mental task, one more mental thing. Then we have Three of Wands, which I feel like pairs with this card a little bit, saying that we had kind of a misstep happen recently. And, as much as we want to just throw it all down and just stop or start over or whatever, this is just asking us to take a pause. Like, don't throw it all in the trash. Like, it's going to be okay. Missteps happen, and these are part of, like, the journey. Like, look at these two. Like, the little mountain ranges, like, together. They both seems to be like water. So again, with the Three of Wands, I take it as working on one step at a time. You can see the future. You can see the results. You can see in reverse that there are going to be hardships, and you can see those. You can see it on down the line. You can see the struggle. But don't let that, don't give up because of that, Just take a pause and gear up for the next time you're ready to take action. Again, Wands is action. So we have one more sword card. So along with not taking another, no more new thoughts, no more new things, like this is the time to cut it out and reevaluate steps. We also have the Nine of Swords reversed. And this is typically the anxiety card. And I really like the fact that it's in reverse, because this is telling me that we are not being eaten up by our thoughts as much as we normally would be. But that doesn't mean we're not being eaten up by our thoughts. It's just there's a little bit of like a break. And maybe because there's so much stagnation in like physical action that it's kind of like we're halting everything altogether. So I would just keep an eye on what's going on mentally, what's going on physically, and just do check-ins with yourself every day. If you need to start keeping a journal, if you struggle with this time of year, start keeping an emotions journal or like a feelings journal of like, okay, today's weather was this, and this is how my emotions and everything correlated with that. And if you want to add the moon element to it too, that's great, because we are also ruled by the moon, all of us. They say women typically are just ruled by the moon, but this is an all of us thing, right? We're made of, 70% water or something like that. We're made with a lot of water, and the moon rules the water. It pulls the water. So speaking of water, I have some animal cards that I pulled. So a year ago, when I did this last kind of full moon, I debuted the animal deck. So I thought it was fitting that I would also bring out some more animal cards. So I have the oyster, which, oh my God, what a gorgeous card. I don't typically think oysters are gorgeous. Sometimes tasty, but not always gorgeous. But this oyster, beautiful. And this is asking again, like, really focus on what's inside of you. Focus on that pearl. Focus on what's going into you. And this pearl, it's not always going to be made up of everything positive, everything good, like every pearl is unique. Every pearl, has its own challenges. It's going to be its own size. And, this kind of galaxy on the inside of the pearl is just reminding us that we have like infinite options. So take care of your inner world and really focus on it and really go deep. Use this light to take you kind of deeper, because you can see a little bit more right now. And then last but not least, I have dolphin. And again, another gorgeous, gorgeous, gorgeous card. And I also notice on this card, this dolphin seems to have like a vision, like it seems to be, having, that sonar, that like almost seems like a third eye, like guiding light kind of a deal. But dolphins are also social creatures. So I would take this as a reminder that when you are going deep, when you need help, when you need, when you just need somebody to talk to about like going deep and things that are coming up that are in those depths that can be scary, use your community, use your loved ones. Like, we're all in this together. We're all here to like help each other. And I really think that this is a beautiful card to kind of illustrate that like diving deep into the thing, but also having that kind of like third eye, that just kind of like knowing, knowledge. I don't know. Internally, it feels like you know what you're looking for and you know what you're ready to get rid of. But again, you don't have to do it alone. Like, take the time and connect with loved ones who can really like help you through this process. So that's what I have for the full moon in Taurus. Just a little short thing since, I'm still not allowed to go live. But reach out if you have any questions. And then next Tuesday, I will be doing a Tarot Tuesday. So think about if you want to ask any questions. I'll be doing tarot pools for the day. And also, not this Saturday, but next Saturday, I will be co-hosting a class with Miss Elizabeth, and we will be teaching tarot. So if you're interested in learning tarot, please, please, please sign up for this class. You get a flight of beers or cider along with your sign up. It's going to be about an hour to 45 minutes or 45 minutes to an hour of teaching. And then we are going to practice like as a group. You can practice by yourself. You can practice with a friend that you brought. You can practice with a friend that you met. And we're going to be able to come around and like help people like interpret and stuff. So it's going to be super duper duper fun. Please, please sign up. The link is in the bio, and I'll also put it on a slide in my stories too. So I look forward to seeing you guys, and happy new moon. Love you. Bye.